up to go to our commercial break. Let's get back in. Now, I'm going to ask this question. Now, say, for instance, like with me, all my life, my credit was screwed up. I've always had the low fives and things like that. And I didn't start understanding what credit was until my late 40s, early 50s now. So it was always hard for me to maintain my credit, different things like that. Had a lot of, collections and child support as well as repossessions and things like that. So when you're talking to the average person that truly does not understand what credit's all about, how can you get them to understand to be able to see what you're talking about as being able to having the A1 credits and having the credit cards to use to have $1 million on there or $5 million that they can use that power to be able to have as much as they want as far as capital is concerned? If you can expound on that, I appreciate it.
Sure, that's a great question, Thomas. So credit is broken down into a number of categories. People think that having a great score gives you great credit. And actually, it's furthest from the truth. You could have a 750 credit score, but if the content of your credit profile is weak in terms of the amount of lines of credit that you have, it is shallow in its payment history, and it doesn't have the diversity, meaning different types of credit, whether it's revolving, installment loans, mortgages, car loans. If it has these factors that make it weak, you won't be able to obtain premium and quality funding terms or large amounts of credit or loans that will help you to obtain the funding that you desire. So what's important to remember about credit is it's a diverse a tool. It's a tool that needs to be diverse in its nature. It needs to be comprised of payment history, a mix and diversity of types of credit, as well as limits, balances, debt to credit ratio, and scores. So these are all the things that comprise of a good credit score. I've had people who've come to me and say, "Hey, Bruce, my credit is a 750, and I wasn't able to get any loans for more than $1,000 or credit cards for more than $500." And the reason why that is because they had poor payment history, or they had lots of inquiries on their credit, which also affects your credit fundability. So what I want you to understand is that when it comes to credit, that it is a combination of things that enables you to be marked as a good credit risk. And it's not just scores, but it's payment history, it's the credit mix, it is the limits that you have, the debt to credit ratio that you have. So
Oh,
it's a combination of things.
okay, so what a lot of people that don't understand is that I am a client of Mr. Bruce Blaylock, and the one thing that I did learn from him that I wasn't aware of is trade lines. Could you explain what that is?
Sure. So one of the things that helps to develop a robust credit profile is having multiple lines of credit. And this is very, very important. And the more diverse your lines of credit that you have, the stronger your credit profile, the easier it is for you to reach the high 700s, even to the 800s. So trade lines are credit lines, and there are retail lines like Home Depot, JCPenney, Macy's, and then there are institutional lines, which are banks, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, TD Bank, Citibank. So when you are trying to build a strong credit profile, you want to have a mix of different types of credit as well too. You want to have a mortgage if you can. Obviously, paying a mortgage in a beautiful home, that's great. But if having a mortgage, having a car loan, having a revolving lines of credit with preferably large limits, and having installment loans like student loans or loans that you've obtained with limits anywhere between 1,000 to 25,000. This is the diversity that makes up a good credit profile, and which will enable you to obtain substantial funding in the best possible terms when getting any type of loans or lines of credit.
Okay, so all that we understand when it comes to credit, because the biggest thing is the challenges that people, to me, I use the word program because I was programmed and I'm no longer programmed anymore. So things are much simpler to me now, especially since I've been able to get into the business of real estate and understanding how to be an investor, what to invest in, and things of that nature. Um, all the different things that people have a challenge with, and I, I I appreciate the fact that one, you are a believer in the Heavenly Father. I do appreciate that very, very
Absolutely.
well. You know, but not only that, that you also, not only because of what you do, you are looking at other avenues to expand on what you do personally. And if it's okay with you, I don't mind putting it out. Bruce and I are looking at doing some things collectively together. Now, he is on the East Coast and I am on the West Coast, but we can still be able to do business together outside of just finances. The real reason why I wanted this gentleman to come on is because not only what is he doing for me, but also what he can bring to the whole entire world, the whole entire nation for all the things that he does on a smaller scale that a lot of people don't even know about. You know what I'm saying? And if they're not in his arena, they would never know. And I was introduced to him by another gentleman named Marvin Spruill. If I had never met Marvin, I would have never met Bruce, which means that Bruce and I has that relationship that we're working together on a lot of different things, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring him, because he's not just talking about finances and credit. He's talking about how to consume and to pass on. Now, I don't like using the word generational wealth because it's too easy for everybody to say generational wealth. What makes you having generational wealth is the ability to be able to understand how wealth can work for you. Which for you, your network is your net worth. If you feel that you network enough, you're going to find money. Money is the easiest thing to find. People have an issue with money. People say money's not hard. It's not easy to find. Yes, it is, because you never know who you're talking to, and that individual could be your investor, your hard money lender, your private lender, things of that nature, or they can be your business partner. So here's the thing I want to find out from you is that how many multiple things are you out there putting your hands on? Because I know you do a lot, especially with your church and different things like that. If you don't mind expounding on that, please.
Yes. Well, in terms of my church, I've served as a director of the men's ministry. And my goal has been as a director, not only looking to create disciples, but also providing strategies for men so that they can help be major contributors to their families. I've raised capital for many men in the ministry and the church, and I've sought strategies for those individuals and provided strategies and opportunities for individuals to invest in purchase businesses. The major thing about changing people's financial trajectory is also changing their mindset. And that's done through education, through teaching, through preaching. And it's important that we always are looking to pour into each other and educate each other. A lot of times, individuals get information, knowledge, and wisdom, and they keep it to themselves. And the greatest thing that you can do is to pour into someone else and to teach them how to change the future of the and trajectory of their family and their lineage. And I believe that it's important for us as individuals to always learn, always develop, always grow, and by the grace of God, allow Him to use us as His tool, His vessel, His vehicle, His instrument to build His kingdom and to also do His works. These things are important to me and important to the people that I surround myself with. So, all I can say is that, I'm a work in progress myself, always working on myself, and by the grace of God, He'll continue to use me as a blessing to other individuals in this world.
Okay, so here we're gonna do, Bruce. We're gonna take our next commercial break. We're gonna come back because there's a couple of things I want to point out to you before we end this show. And I mean, it's been a wonderful time speaking with you. So, listen, ladies and gentlemen, please do not leave this dial. There's more coming back from my guest, Bruce Blaylock. This is the Real Men of Real Estate, hosted by me, Thomas.